Welcome to Art History with Jackie. In honor of Women's History Month, we will be highlighting the prolific female contemporary artist, Cindy Sherman. She is an American artist whose work consists primarily of photographic self portraits, depicting herself in many different contexts and as various imagined characters. In the 1980s, Sherman used color film and large prints and focused more on costume, lighting, and facial expressions. She continues to produce work to this day. Sherman was born on January 19th, 1954, in New Jersey. Her father was an engineer for Grumman Aircraft, and her mother taught reading to children with learning difficulties. In 1972, Sherman enrolled in the visual arts department at Buffalo State College, where she began painting. During this time, she began to explore the ideas which became a hallmark of her work. She dressed herself as different characters, cobbled together from thrift store clothing. Frustrated with what she saw as the limitations of paintings as a medium of art, she abandoned it and took up photography full time. Cindy recalled at this point, "There was nothing more to say through painting. I was meticulously copying other art, and then I realized I could just use a camera and put my time into an idea instead." She continued with photography throughout her university career, where she met Robert Longo, a fellow artist who encouraged her to record her process of dolling up for parties. This was the beginning of her untitled film still series. In 1974, with Longo, Charles Clow, and Nancy Dwyer, she created Hall Walls, an art center intended as a space that would accommodate artists from diverse backgrounds. Sherman works in series, typically photographing herself in a range of costumes. To create her photographs, Sherman shoots alone in her studio, assuming multiple roles as author, director, makeup artist, hairstylist, wardrobe mistress, and model. Bus Riders, created from 1976 to 2000, is a series of photographs that feature the artist as a variety of meticulously observed characters. The photographs were shot in 1976 for the Bus Authority to display on a bus. Sherman used costumes and makeup to transform her identity for each image, and the cutout characters were lined up along the bus's advertising strip. Some critics say that this work showed insensitivity to race through the use of blackface makeup, while others state that actually it was the intention of exposing racism embedded in society. In her landmark photograph series, Untitled Film Stills, 1977 to 1980, Sherman appears as B movie and film noir actresses. This series catapulted Sherman into international recognition. It consists of 69 black and white photographs. The artist poses in different roles and settings, producing a result reminiscent of stills typical of Italian neorealism or American film noir of the 1940s, 50s, and 60s. She avoided putting titles on the images to preserve their ambiguity. She would often pose her heroines as alone, expressionless, and in private. An overarching characteristic of her heroines were those that did not follow conventional ideas of marriage and family. They were seen as rebellious women. Many of Sherman's photo series, like the 1981 Centerfolds, call attention to stereotypes of women in films, television, and magazines. This series was inspired by the center spreads in fashion and pornographic magazines and was a comment on the commodification of women. In 1980, with her series Rear Screen Projections, Sherman switched to color and to clearly larger picture formats. She continued to work in color and in this larger format for many years. Sherman is widely recognized as one of the most important and influential artists in contemporary art. Throughout her career, she has presented a provocative exploration of the construction of contemporary identity, drawn from the unlimited supply of images from movies, TV, magazines, the internet, and art history. Thank you. We'll see you for another art history with a female artist next week.